Hello friends, it's Tonton. Today the long and awaited Gen 5, many of you have been asking for it. Slowly we are going through Gen 5 and 6 so that many of you are around the generation. So hopefully it's a helpful guide and it's all you need to know about it. So we went through Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. So at that stage, you have a certain kind of lineup. You have certain heroes that you have unlocked. So Gen 1, we've seen that you mostly have Molly at the free-to-play. You have Sergei, you have Bahiti. If you're a spender, you have Geronimo. And you have some of the other free ones. Then we are adding Alonso and Flint in Gen 2 for most people. Flint with the Lucky Wheel, Alonso with extra shard, because Alonso is great for bear, he's great for arena. Then we are adding our friend Mia to the mix, which will start to shape up like at the free-to-play low spender your lineup for bear. So with Flint, Mia, and your best marksman, which is Alonso at that stage. If you wanted to go for arena, we've seen that Greg is really good. Logan is very bad in Gen 3, and then Gen 4 it starts to be really interesting with Gen 5 because all heroes start to have a very good use. Lynn is the Lucky Wheel in Gen 4 that you get, normally. She's okay overall everywhere. She's not amazing, but she's okay. You have Amo that could be used as a rally joiner with the new meta. He's okay in arena. He's okay for solo march. He's okay defensive hero for rally leaders. And you have Reyna that is amazing in arena. That's somewhere here. She's amazing in arena. She's a good rally joiner as well. You will still use Mia for bear, and you will use Reyna for joining a force march with troops and heroes, basically, if you unlock Reyna. So you have all these options. You probably don't have all these heroes. In Gen 5, what do you have? So you have Norah, and Norah is coming from all of Chief, so King of Icefield and SVS prep shards, and your general SSR shard, so you can get her. She's a Lancer hero. You have Hector from the Lucky Wheel, that's another infantry, and that's a very decent one. And you have Gwen, right? So let's talk about the Lucky Wheel first. So Hector is, you're gonna spin the Lucky Wheel 70 times at least every event to get him 4 stars. You can max him out if you want. It starts to be like Gen 5 is where like heroes from Gen 1 to 3 start to really fall off, and generation are every 80 days. So it could be time to consider going 5 stars instead of 4 stars. The consideration for the Lucky Wheel hero will be your gem usage, right? If you want to increase your VIP, you will get the experts now around middle of Gen 3. So when you have Wartech Academy, so when you unlock T11, you will have the experts. So, a month after you are in Gen 3. So you will have some gem you spend eventually here to unlock extra treks to improve. So you have a few options, right, for your gem at that stage. So if you are where you want to be with your gems in terms of VIP level, which should be aiming for 9 at the free-to-play low spender, 10 is going to be very hard. It's a lot longer to get. 11 as well, it's a lot longer to get. So 9 is very good. So if you are not 9 yet, then maybe, just do Hector 4 stars. Spin the Lucky Wheel 70 times, that's going to be good enough, and aim towards VIP 9. When you have VIP 9, you can pour more gems into your experts, into your heroes, into other areas of the game. Maybe some buff, maybe some, some pet stones that you buy in the store to get better pets and better stats and things like that. But you will need to get to to VIP 9. That will be really important. And for free to play, it could happen around Gen, between 4 to 6, depending a bit, or you manage all of that. So Hector is overall, he is okay in arena and exploration, mostly because for most of you, unless you went for Amos, but if you went for Amos, you get Amos and Hector, so that will be really good. The next really good heroes for infantry would be Gen 7, basically. So Gen 6, you will probably skip rooming, so that will be good to get Hector and Amos, for example. Or if you don't have Amos, then you have Flint or you have Sergei. So, because he is Gen 5, he will be so much stronger than Flint. He will be so much stronger than Sergei in arena. So that will be really good for you anyway. So you will want to have him. In terms of widgets, it's a defensive widget. So you don't really need it as a free-to-play low spender. So you don't have to go hard on the widgets. If I was thinking more about my widget at the time, I'll probably keep him, keep it level 1 or 2. I did not really need a defensive widget here. That does me nothing. I just need to go harder on the offensive widget to do more bear damage, for example. So your Hector is a very good choice for free-to-play low spenders because, you know, whales will go for it as well, because it's just a big upgrade compared to what you had before. And even if you had Amos, most people will prefer Hector, you know, everywhere. And then in Arena, you need 2, so that will work very well. Then you have Norah. Norah used to be a hero that we recommend mostly for rally joiner, and that's still the case. Because with the new meta, you don't want to stack 4 Patricks. You might want to have at that stage, you might want to have 1 Reyna or 1 Mia, 1 offensive hero in your defensive garrison. You might want to have 1 Patrick, 1 Norah, for example, maybe 2 Patricks, something like that. You will want to have a mix of heroes. You can get 1 Amos as well. You can do 1 Norah, 1 Amos, 1 Patrick, and then maybe a very offensive hero like a Jesse, like a Geronimo, like a Mia, probably as well. That could work very well for you at that stage, because she has both a defensive and offensive hero, right? So buff. So she's boosting the damage, so decreasing damage taken and boosting damage dealt for infantry and marksmen. So that's why people maybe considering using Mia, starting here, like Shit Gamey shared in his video, and using, you know, 45, 10, 45 or 50, 0, 50, because Norah, if you stack Norah, she will boost on the infantry and on the marksman. So you will get the benefits of the reduced damage taken on the infantry, which marksman does not really matter, because if you have no infantry, your marksmen are dead basically, and the damage up on your marksman. So that's why people are using, for example, 1, 2, 3 Norah. Even some people are trying to stack Norah because of that. And then 1 Mia in the mix, either from the rally leader, often it's on the rally leader side, and that works very, very well. So that's a really good boost. So Norah is a really good boost in the rally joiner. People love her in Arena as well. She's decent, you know, for Arena, Labyrinth, solo marching, all of that. She's a good hero. She's not amazing, but she's a really good hero. She has 1 spell that is area of effect damage. She has some damage up. She's turning the target. She has some attack up, so she's doing more damage. So overall, she's kind of offensive in Arena exploration. And here, you know, she's decent again for rally joiner. A rally leader, you know, might use her as well. Extra damage up, 20% chance. And then 25 chance. So all troops dealt by 25%, so increase damage, and reducing their damage taken 25% for 5 attack for 2 turns. So you have again that kind of thing where she reduces and augment damage and reduces damage taken. So that's why you might have her as a rally leader as well here, because, you know, the other options are not necessarily as good when it comes to defense. And I believe she have a defensive widget as well, so that's really good. So the widget, again, here, you don't really need, as a free-to-play low spender, you don't really need to care that much about the widget. That's really okay. You can put level 1 or 2, you don't have to stress out too much. You don't have to do these widgets a lot because they're both defensive widgets. So that's Norah for Lancers. Think that you will get next generation, you will get from the Lucky Wheel, you will get Rene, for example. So if you went for Reyna, it might be a bit of an overkill to go for 3 Lancers in a row, while you will use only 1 in exploration and only 1 in exploration and arena. If you want to be the perfect rally joiner with a lot of options to join, of course, you know, Reyna is a good rally joiner, Norah is a good rally joiner. So you might want to have them. Rene will be the lucky wheel, you will have them. So you could always do them to 4 stars and be a rally joiner for that. But understand that's not the best necessarily for you, because that means you will have less chart to invest in infantry and marksman, and you need 2 of these, right? And if we think, so you will likely go for Hector. Norah is a good investment in, you know, you don't have to do her, but it could be a good investment. She's never wasted. And if you just do her to be a bit stronger in Arena, for example, because you didn't do Reyna, then 4 stars and, you know, level 1 widget is enough at the free-to-play. That's gonna work out very well. 4 stars, 1 widget, like for these transition heroes that you're not really investing into, like 4 stars, level 5 skills, 1 widget, and it will be a lot better for you overall. Gwen is really interesting because Gwen is a beast in Arena. She's really strong. People really love her in Arena. She has area of effect again. She has damage up, and she has another damage up. She does a lot of damage in Arena. She's really brutal in Arena. So that's one of the heroes that if someone is having Gwen and you don't, it's kind of Alonso. You kind of run away and avoid them, right? If they start to have her 3 to 4 stars and she has level 4 to 5 skills and you don't, you will likely lose even if the opponent is a lot weaker than you. So she's amazing for arena. She's a very good rally as well for the rally leaders. She has a lethality on offense, so she's a very offensive marksman. So of course she will be great for bear if you use her for bear. If you do Gwen, she will be really, really solid, and you will want to do your Gen 5 widget actually here. So instead of having, you know, what I've done without really thinking at the time, I was just like putting widgets to 3 or 4 everywhere. I would have done level 1 on Gwen, on Norah. I would have done level 1 on Hector, and I will try to put 7 or 8 if I could, or 6 at least on her. So she got 10% lethality because that's multiplicative. So for your infantry, for your lancers, for your marksmen, that's you get 10% more lethality on bear, so that's a shit-ton more damage. You care mostly about marksmen, of course, but you know, it's giving you marksman lethality as well here. That is additive. So when it's a marksman offensive widget like Alonso, you get double the benefits, right? You get the lethality on all the troops. So that's why you want the widgets to be higher level, plus you get the lethality on the marksman, and that's what is doing your damage on bear. So that's really, really important. So that's why you would want to focus your widget and not play the way I've done it. So, you know, even after many, many years of playing the game, 2 years nearly, I've made some mistakes not too long ago, and I would do things very differently today. And that's, you know, mostly thanks to you guys after all the question and all the exchange and the back and forth and the better, like the granularity understanding of the game. It's not just black and white. I used to suggest people to just do all widgets to level 2 or 3 or 4. You know, like most other content creator, most people you will see. And then when you think about details, you're like, okay, you're a rally joiner, you will never garrison a building, maybe except in Canyon. And does it really matter that you have a better widget for just Canyon, which is twice, you know, once a month? So you will have it twice per generation, maybe 3 times. It does not matter. So focus on where it matters. So widget on the offensive marksman hero if you can. You will use, if you really buff Gwen, you can keep using her for a little while. Because next generation, you have another great marksman, and the one after, so Wayne and Bradley are very, very good marksmen as well, but you might not do all of them because you might not have the shards. So if you invest really much in Gwen, and you have Lynn, for example, that's good enough for arena for a free-to-play. You don't have to do Wayne. You will get free. You get the lucky wheel from Bradley Gen 7, and Bradley is amazing. Whatever you do, he's a beast. He's a monster. He's like Alonso kind of power on steroids. He's like a lot stronger, even, I would say. So Bradley is like a freaking monster in the game, and he's like so. Yeah, he really boosts everything you do. Like exploration, you unlock Bradley 4 stars. You're gonna clean 20 levels. That kind of power he will give you. That the most power I've felt unlocking a hero in the game was Bradley so far, by far. So, you know, you're gonna get covered with marksman. So if you do marksman here, you can do Gwen. If you don't, you will have a second chance to do Wayne Gen 6. Some people are saying, you know, Wayne is a bit less good, but to be honest, it's very, very similar. You won't really feel the difference. The only big one is it's a defensive lethality widget, so it's not as good for bear. So if you care about your bear damage as well, the right pick is, the right timing is Gwen Gen 5. That will be great. So speaking of bear, so let's speak a bit of bear. That's a really interesting one. And I'm doing some testing right now, which I'm not concluding yet, so I cannot give you the outcome. But the debate is either to use Hector, Flint, or Geronimo or Natalia, which are, you know, lower levels. The last time I did the testing, Flint was the best option. And you see my Flint is even weaker than my Hector, because he's 4.4 stars and Hector is maxed out, right? So my Flint was doing 10 more percentage point of damage. So in a 200 million rally, I will do 180 with, in average, I will do 180 million with Hector, and I will do 200 in average with Flint. So Flint was a bit better. So many people came to the comment and say, hey, you know, listen, Hector is better. I don't know what you consider better. I'm looking at the average. I'm doing many rallies and I'm looking at the average. The issue with Hector is he has a skill that is a 25% chance to deal 200% damage, right? So that you can see huge spike of damage on Hector. Flint is a bit more reliable. So the damage variation will be a bit lower on Flint and will be slightly higher. So I'm confirming that with a, you know, I'm doing 4 days of bear with the same hero. So I'm doing four days with Geronimo, which I've done. So right now I'm doing 4 days with Flint. I have 2 more days to do, so that's going to take 4 more days. And then I'm going to do 4 days with Geronimo as well, which will take 8 days in reality, so that 12 days still needed for testing. Same gear, same stats. I'm not improving anything that will impact, and I will compare them. But by the look of it right now, is like Flint is slightly bit better than Geronimo. And last time I tested, he was slightly bit better than Hector, but my Geronimo, I'm comparing Flint to Geronimo 2 stars. So if you have Geronimo without widgets, so if you have Geronimo 3 stars with some level of widgets, things like that, or even Natalia, with some level of widgets, these will likely be the best option. If you are a tiny spender and you spend a bit on these and you unlock 3-4 stars with some widget, these will be the best option for Bear. The second best option, if you have 4 star, will be Flint, and your third best option will be Hector. If you use Hector over Flint, you are not making a big mistake. You are making a big mistake if you are using Logan for Bear, if you are using Amos for Bear, if you are using Wooming in the next generation for Bear, if you are using Edis in Gen 7 for Bear. You make a big mistake here because they are not offensive infantry heroes. They don't do a lot of damage, so you're gonna miss out on a lot of damage because the hero and the infantry itself, they are not doing damage. So you do not care to get between 4 to 5 stars. The difference is mostly attack and defense on infantry. That's gonna do no damage on Bear nearly. So you don't care about, for Bear, you don't care to be 5 stars. It does not really matter. The widgets, it's a defensive widget. It's a defender troop attack. Even on Flint, it's a defensive widget if I recall, right? So you don't care to have widgets higher level on Flint, on Hector, because they give you, of course, infantry lethality here as well, which do not damage, because at that stage of the game, when you are Gen 5, you are using 10% infantry in your marches. So that's not gonna give you any major damage boost. It's gonna be very, 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 like, so small. So you don't want to focus on that. 4 stars, level 5 skill is what matter, because the skills are giving damage to all troops. So this one is damage up by Marksman, right? 200%. And this one is all troops, 25% chance to do 200% damage. So on paper, these look really good. In reality, Flint does a bit more. That's my experience, and I will confirm it, and I'll make a video to kind of debrief on the outcome of the test I've made. But that's where you are for Bear. So you should likely go for Flint. Again, Geronimo, Natalia, if you have them 3 stars with some widgets, they are first, then Flint, then Hector. And if you skip Flint for some reason, then use Hector. If you prefer to use Hector because you think Hector is doing more damage, whatever, it's gonna be close enough. It's 10%. If you do a 50 million rally, it's gonna be between 50 and 55 or 50, 45. It's not gonna matter that much if you prefer use one over the other. And again, I will do the test properly and I'll share the data on Discord, and I might make a video about it. When it comes to Lancers, you are still with Mia. You will use Mia until the end of time. Some people at that stage will suggest to use Reyna if you have both Reyna and Mia leveled up. The thing is, like, Mia is a very bad rally joiner. Most people are agreeing that Mia is doing more damage anyway, right? So I have more viewers that tells me, no, Mia is doing far more damage. It's the same for me. I don't really have Reyna, but if I would try, because she's only 3 stars, right? So that makes sense. Yeah, but I have a few viewers that tell me, no, Reyna is doing more damage for me. Again, I don't know if they took, the biggest damage and compare the biggest damage versus, I would compare the average basically instead of the biggest. So I'm not sure which data they are. Nobody gave me the data. They just come with a statement that's, oh no, the other one is doing better. So I'll give you data on that. But Mia should be, because she's a bad rally joiner, you will want to use Reyna in other rally joiner. So rally joiner, you will have JC, Jacer, Young, Reyna, and you will have 2 marches if you have 6 marches with no heroes, just troops. And then you might start to be, using 10, 30, 60, 10, 20, 70 if you have enough marksmen, 10, 10, 80 if you have enough marksmen, something like that, right? That could be time. So you keep Mia for your own march, you join with Reyna, that's gonna be okay. And in terms of marksmen, then if you go for Gwen, for sure go for Gwen in your bear damage. Likely Lin will be better than Alonso at that stage. You will be able to replace Lin by Alonso. You will be replacing Alonso by Lin, sorry. That's very, very likely. I believe she have a defensive widget. Yeah, she has a defensive widget, but you know, she's quite stronger overall. But that's depending on how much you invested in the widget of Alonso. That's depending a bit on the damage that Alonso is doing. So it could mean that if you invested very heavily on Alonso and you have widget 4, 6, 8, and Alonso is maxed out, and you know in your lean is a bit below that, it's possible that Alonso is better than your lean at that stage. So you will have to test out for yourself and compare a bit how strong they are. And you might do, you know, 2 days with lean, you're not done every damage you do every time. You do 2 days with Alonso, you're not done, and you make an average in a spreadsheet, or you know, using your phone, whatever. It's not that hard to do. It's 10 numbers to addition to make an addition with, and divide by 10, because you can do 5 rallies every bear, and you get an average, and you clearly see if it's similar or if one is beating the other by a lot. And you know, 10 rallies is not that much, but it's usually enough, you know. And if you want to be sure, then do 20 or 30 rallies, or you know, ask your alliance to give you their numbers and test with you, something like that. So that's kind of where you are for your bear. For your arena, you will want to use the latest gen, right? So if in Gen 5 you did, for example, I mean, for me, I use all of 3 because I kind of skipped Gen 1 to 3, like I said, and I transferred a lot in Gen 4, 5, and I was aiming to do all of the heroes Gen 5 maxed out, so I accumulate a lot of SSR general shards. So that was a really big buff for me. I went from quite weak and quite behind to very decent, because they're all good in arena, if that makes sense. Especially because, you know, again, I did not have the big spender hero that were very good, or don't have high widgets, so that was a really, really big buff. But you might have, you know, infantry, you might have Hector Amos or Hector Flint. Marksman, you might have Gwen, Lean, Greg, or Alonso. You want to use 2 of these, and maybe even 3 of these, depending on the lancers you went for. If you went for Reyna might be very good in arena. Still, you need to see, again, with Norah. If they are similar, it's possible that Reyna is still performing a tiny bit better because she's really a beast in arena. But then, you know, if you have a 5-star Norah versus a 4-star Reyna, and, you know, you have 2 more widgets, or, you know, like your Norah is just, your Reyna is just 4 stars and your Norah is 4.4, it's likely that your Norah will be better. And it depending a bit on how you place your heroes and what the opponent is playing on the other side. Though it's never that black and white that you can just say, you know, that it's very rare that a hero is so much better than the previous generation or the next one. The few exceptions are like Gwen, Alonso, Bradley. It's often like some of the Marksman one. The other one, they are not that clear, you know. So if they are close, you know, you need to test a bit out what works best for you based on the whether you have in your opponent, but they are both very decent in arena. Same for exploration, so you get all of that covered. The game really start to slow down in Gen 5. You know, you will be what, Fire Crystal 5, something like that. You will get, you know, new buildings a bit later, but the pace, you know, is slowing down. You get more rewards for events. You get a good, you know, handle on your gem income. You get a good handle on your SSR shard income. So hopefully at that point you kind of know what you can do in terms of heroes. And at that stage, for most people, you should be able to do, depending if you want to go to 4 stars, and that's not the strategy I took myself. I'm going for 5 stars, as you can see. Like, these will be 5 stars soon, but everything else is 5 stars. So that means I can do less heroes, but they will be stronger. Or you have the other strategy to do them 4 stars and to do more heroes. So let's say you are either you're a more casual player than I do, you rank less on events, and you just want to be a good rally joiner. Then you might want to just do them 4 stars, so they are good enough to be rally joining. So, you know, Norah is a good rally joiner, Amos is a good rally joiner. You will want Rene, that is a good rally joiner, for example. That will be some of the one you will get in this generation, you know. You don't really join with Wayne, you don't really join with Gatot, like some of these you don't really join with them, but you might want to do these, you know, these extra heroes. And so yeah, so that's the main 2 things you need to do. A hero to max out, again, it's 1075 shards, so you kind of need to understand, you know, if you do the lucky wheel, that's 120 times per event, so you will need to manage your gem very well. And at the free-to-play, very, very low spender, you cannot do 120 spin every event. You will consume some gems, so you need to build a kind of backlog of gems. You need to maybe, you know, do one generation, you do only 70 spins. Like, let's say Gen 4, you do only 70 spins, so you will accumulate some gems. Then in Gen 5, you will be able to push your hero to 5-star with the lucky wheel without using SSR shards. It's, in reality, depending on the amount of wheels you have, you might have too many wheels, or you might have not enough. You might have more or less one wheel. You have a 6 average wheel, I think, and sometimes you get 7, and if you're really unlucky, you can get 5. But basically, if you have 5 or 6, you might miss some gems, some shards, and if you have 7, you can skip most of the last wheel to get the max. So you will need to use a bit of SSR shards on these zeros, but not too much. But you can basically get every 2 generations, if you skip one, you can focus on getting them 5-star on where they are. So one of the suggestions often is doing the odds generation. So 5, 7, 9, maxing out with the lucky wheel. In most cases, these rows are a bit better than the even one. So 6, 8, and stuff like that. It's not always true. It's not that simple, but that's kind of the rule of thumb. On the Discord, if you look at the hero channel on my Discord, you will see I have 3 lists of heroes you can do, basically. I have 3 different list of heroes you can pick. So either, if, like I said, if you're more a casual player, you might want to go for 1 every 3 generations. On top of the lucky wheel, you will do the lucky wheel every time to 4+ stars, and you will do 1 every 3 generations. If you're a bit more active player and you get a bit more shards, or you are not doing 5 stars, you can do nearly, out of 3 generations, you can do 2 extra heroes. So you can do the lucky wheel every time, and you can do at least 2. If you play, like I suggest, you probably, as you can see, you can do 2 heroes every generation. That's okay. That's doable, especially to 4-star. There is no problem with that. If you play well, if you manage your gem well, if you manage your SSR shards well, you just keep 1 every generation. So you're getting this most. And then, there's like a list as well for like a medium spender. What I will do if I'll start the game tomorrow and I'll spend, let's say, $500 per month, like which hero I will pick and which one I'll mark the widgets on, thinking about, maximizing offense. So not being a garrison leader, but maybe, being able to do like a rally starter on some events, like on Foundry, on smaller event, probably not Sunfire Castle because 500 is not enough, right? But on smaller event to be a rally starter and be very offensive. So do a lot of damage on Bear, do a lot of damage to city I'm attacking on the battlefield, in Foundry, on SVS Castle and stuff like that. So I have these 3 lists linked on my Discord, so the link in the description, so you can see the path from Gen 1 to Gen 10, I think it is up to date right now, and you can plan ahead, because at that stage you need to plan ahead. Like, that's why I'm kind of planting some seeds about what you could do next generation, right? I'm talking about Gen 4, so I'm talking about where we are coming from, Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm talking about Gen 5 actually, but then I'm starting to tell you, okay, Gen 6, okay, you have another good marksman, so if you cannot do marksman today, and maybe Gwen is a bit better pick than Wayne just for the bear damage you will get, you can always get Wayne later, and you will get Bradley Gen 7, so you will have very good offensive, because Bradley does everything. Even if he has a defensive widget, he does offense very well too. He's that strong. So it's gonna work. So you can start to feel the vibe going on with heroes and the pace you can go with them, and the kind of see a path forward and see, okay, that will be my pass. And if you look at it, for me, it's very obvious, right? Gen 5, I did everything. Gen 4, I did everything, but that except Reyna, I did 2, but because I transferred a lot, so I had a lot of extra shards. Gen 6, I've done, Lucky Wheel, René, very good rally joiner. You want 1 per rally often, offense, defense. I did 1 because I wanted to boost my arena, and Wooming is not that great, and I just did Amos and Hector, so I did not really need an infantry, and I know I wanted to do edit because edit is really, really good, so I will do edit Gen 7. So Gen 7, I did the lucky wheel on our friend Bradley, and I did edit, right? So I skipped whoever that was. It was like a Gordon, I think he was a Lancer. So I mostly skipped the Lancers, right? So Gen 8, I'm doing the lucky wheel, which is Gatot infantry, and I'm getting the Lancer exceptionally because René is not a beast in arena. He's not that good. He's okay. Norah is too far away to be good, and I really need a buff in arena for my Lancer overall, and she's a really good hero for everything. She's a okay rally joiner. Yeah, that's actually not very good. Damage up 20%, but you can use her as a rally joiner eventually for bear. That's gonna be okay. Most alliance will allow you to use Sonia. She's really good for solo march. She's really good for arena. So yeah, I had the shards. I went for her. And the marksman is a very defensive rally leader kind of heroes. He's good in arena as well, but I have Bradley, and I'll get another one soon. So that's all good. So that's kind of to give you the next stage, but I'll make proper videos on Gen 6, proper video on Gen 7, proper video on Gen 8, and all of that very soon. But I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comment if you need anything else in these videos. I have some comments of people, asking me, hey, what should I do? What should I do? Tell me what to do, kind of thing. It's like, I'm not exactly telling you what to do. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to giving you option and try to make it as well that it's not that black and white. Heroes are very not that black and white. It could depend about what you like. If you want arena, it's very different that if you want to be a rally joiner. It's very different that if you want to have a strong solo march for foundry. And sometimes it makes you have to make a different choice that the every other guide is suggesting you to do and go against it because that's the right pick for you. And if that's the right pick for you, it's gonna be okay at the end of the day. And even if it was a mistakes, in 2-3 months it's not gonna matter because there will be a new generation and your mistakes will be will be forgotten. So less pressure about heroes, not black and white thinking, granular thinking. Let's think about what do I want, what do I care to do, which one are good. Listen to the video again if you need to. And you should be able to decide with what we covered today. That's how I make my decision. If I'm talking to you, if I'm trying to help you with heroes, that's the kind of question I will want to know is, where are you coming from? What heroes do you have? Where do you want to go? Which one are you planning to get? How many shards? Are you a very casual player? Are you a spender? Do you rank very well in Alliance Mobilization so you get extra shards? Globally, do you finish your mercenary prestige so you get the extra shards? Like all of these things, because depending on your income and the amount of shards you get and the amount of you have in your bag, you cannot do the same thing as someone that's more casual and that that's just playing right and left and that's missing a lot of shards and that not gonna be able to do 5-star, right? So it really depends. So with all of that, I know it's not that black and white, it's not that easy, but you should be able to make your decision. And if you need more guidance, join the Discord. I've made lists for you and tell you exactly what to do as well. That's as well an option. If you want to follow that blindly, you don't have to think. And if one day you find yourself with not enough gems, SSR shard, you skip the next generation. And if you find yourself with too many, then either you go to 5-star on some heroes, like key heroes for Bear, for example, like Gwen, like Alonso and stuff like that. Or you do an extra hero just for fun because, you like them, you want them to be a good rally joiner, you want them to be good for, for your bear, whatever the reason, but you will be able to adjust along the way based on that. But the lists are available on the Discord and the link in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.